I'm Ted Dehas, owner of Windy Hill Farm. I want to welcome you to our YouTube channel, The Handy Horseman. Our purpose of this channel is to help folks understand horsemanship better. I think that over the years, Windy Hill Farm has done a good job helping a lot of people and a lot of horses navigate this journey of horsemanship. It seems like, though, that there's a lot of knowledge that's being lost to time, and there's a lot of traditional horsemanship methods that it's important for people to know in order to succeed with their horses. And I think that what we should do first of all is understand really what a horseman is. A horseman, in my opinion, is someone that brings the best out in their horse. You don't need a fancy hybrid, high expensive horse. What you need to do is understand the importance of you bringing the best out in your horse. Through that, there are many horsemanship standards, and there are many procedures you must go through in order to accomplish that. And it's important to understand that you have your priorities in line and your attitude right. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Your priorities, in my opinion, should be safety first and just being practical. Now, if you're interested in ribbons and money earnings and prosperity, recognition with your horse, maybe I'm not your guy. What I'm interested in is mostly you developing a good relationship with your horse, but also you learning to discover yourself too. And I can tell you that horsemanship is good for me. It's helped me discover myself as a person. And if you approach it that way, I think you'll find it a very satisfying journey. At Windy Hill Farm, we don't want to be horse trainers. We don't want to be horse traders. What we want to be is horsemen. And we want to approach this in a way that it's more like a holistic approach. It's we're seeing to all the horse's needs. We're making him feel comfortable. We're eliminating pain, and we're eliminating fear, and we're teaching our horse to navigate and conquer his courage and conquer his fear. So there's a big puzzle to put together here with lots of pieces. It's a race without a finish line. It's something that will take you a lifetime to understand. I've been at it a long time, and I tell you, I go to my barn every day as a student. But I think if you approach this in a way where you have an open mind and an open heart, and you get to the point where you take the knowledge that you've obtained and you apply that knowledge, that's a true sign of wisdom. When you approach this as a student every day, and I don't have all the answers, and what I'm going to share with you, I mean, these are not things that I've created, a lot of them. These are things that some very fine people have passed on to me through my constant thirst for knowledge. I've done a lot of reading from the great masters in Europe, from the cavalry instructors in the United States Cavalry and the German Cavalry and the Austrian Cavalry. I've read about every book there is to be read about this subject. And I'll tell you, I don't want to claim to be an expert in this matter, but I feel that I am qualified to hold a conversation about it. Over the years, we've probably handled thousands of horses. And so a lot of the things that I'm going to tell you and show you have been obtained through first-hand knowledge. There's no substitute for just getting out there and putting that rope in your hand and putting your butt in the saddle and being devoted to hard work. There's a lot that can be learned by doing that. Trial and error. And allow the horses to teach you. When you get to that point, then you might be an operator. So, my advice to everybody is to approach this with an open mind and an open heart. Take some fatherly advice. I think it's good to open your mind and sometimes shut your mouth and let the horses teach you. Understand that the things that I'm going to talk to you about and show you are things that have been proven and been tested through trial and error. The people that buy our horses are very successful with them. They get along good with them. Our horses are safe and reliable, trustworthy. To take a traditional classical approach to this in a workmanlike fashion is the proper way. This is how they did it years ago. And I think that if we take that approach, we're going to have an enjoyable journey. I would never trust a horse that was trained through force or fear. When you get a horse that's trusting and a horse that has been conditioned in his mind before his body, then you've got a treasure. And over the years, what I have discovered is that if we approach horsemanship and our relationship with our horses in a way where we condition his mind before his body, prepares him for whatever's going to happen, and allows him the opportunity to think. I want to know where you're putting your feet down. I want him to do what I'm thinking. And if you do this right, you'll be amazed how that horse will do what you think. He will be so light and so supple and so trusting of you, he'll go where you look. Imagine yourself as a cavalry soldier riding into battle. You can't be fumbling with your reins. You got to have your reins in one hand, and you got to have your sword or your gun in the other. And you better be prepared for battle, or you're going to get killed. Well, see, that's what it's all about. If we're out there working cattle, working gates, if we're out there fixing fence, doesn't matter. We have to be able to become a partner with that horse with whatever we're doing. He's got to enjoy the process. He can't be wringing his tail and laying his ears back and resenting the process. I don't want him to be lazy, and I don't want him to be resentful to what we're doing. So with that, we've got to eliminate pain. We've got to eliminate fear. We have to build courage. And we have to get this animal to somehow communicate with us in a way where we're partners today. He's my buddy. So I'm going to let him rest. I'm going to not make this an unpleasant experience. I'm going to know when to do what. I'm not going to overtax him. Now, he's going to have to work for a living. That's his job. But I'm going to be his leader. I'm not going to be a person that is spoiling him, going to make a fool of him, giving him treats all the time, and making him some big mommy's boy. No. He needs a leader. And you never want to obtain obedience from a horse through bribery, through treats, or through force, or through pain, where you take a hold of him and put pain in his mouth, or dig him with a set of spurs and make him hurt. Well, it won't be long. He's not going to like you anymore. And that's high-stakes gambling, and I promise you'll lose. So what I want to do is we're going to take what we do here and try to share with people how to approach this in a way to be safe And you know what? Just take a plain old average horse and make him special. Now that's an adventure, in my opinion. There's nothing that pleases me more than to see just a plain old brown horse become something special. And he can live his life with somebody that cares about him and makes his life special. And that person receives a lot of benefit through that emotionally and spiritually. And to understand that spiritual connection and understand the value of that relationship between you and your horse, I think is a treasure. And I'm more than glad to share what I know with everybody. I'd invite you to subscribe to our channel. You can friend me on Facebook at Windy Hill Farm. Visit my website at windyhillfarm.net. We also are providing a new service where you can contact me at our website, or our email address for thehandyhorseman@gmail.com, and you can arrange a private coaching session with myself or one of my assistants on your horsemanship through Skype. And we went this week and I bought a new computer and all new software, and I'm all set up for it. I get lots and lots of calls and lots of questions. And I want to be able to stay at home. I don't want to travel. I don't want you to have to travel. So I've got a lot of folks I work with all over the country and all over the world, as far as that goes nowadays, where we can have a Skype visit. We're not going to charge a whole lot for that, just to reimburse us for our time. But I'd encourage you to do that. I think it'd be time and money well spent. We've got a saying here at Windy Hill Farm that it's not the barn, it's the horse that's in it that counts. And that's what I encourage you today to do. I want you to become a horseman. I don't want you to be a rider. I don't want you to be a passenger. I want you to be a horseman. So with that in mind, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel and follow us. And don't hesitate to contact me anytime. If you don't agree with something, I understand. I respect you for that. If your way works better, I'd like to know about it. I've got an open mind about this. But I will tell you that horsemanship is something you'll have 50 different people tell you 50 different ways to do the same thing. What you have to do is decide what's best for me, what's best for my horse, what's the safest way to approach this, what's the most practical way. So as we move forward, what we're going to do, we're all going to humble ourselves, and we're going to start at the beginning, not the end. So our next group of videos are going to be devoted to basic horsemanship. We're going to talk about, first of all, in our next video, horsemanship attitude and how to pick the right horse. And we're going to go clear down through all the foundation principles and standards necessary to do this properly. I appreciate your time and look forward to sharing our knowledge. Thank you.